Hey everyone, this is Pallavi, and today we are diving into the 26th game of the book, The Most Instructive Games of Chess Ever Played by Irving Chernev. Now, this game was played between Bondarevsky and Smyslov in 1946 in Moscow, and the opening played in this game is the Ray Lopez, and the game is called Bishop and a Half. This isn't a pure two bishop game, but it shares many classic bishop versus knight themes. Smyslov simplifies by trading one bishop for a knight, then later wins back the pawn that took it. His pawns dominate the middle game, squeezing the opponent's pieces off the center. In the end game, a single bishop is enough, slicing through queenside pawns stuck on white squares. Classic Smyslov, simple, precise, and beautiful. So white started with e4, black played e5, knight f3, developing towards the center, knight c6, bishop b5, and then black played a6, attacking the bishop. White played bishop a4, knight f6, and then white castled on the king side, and then bishop to e7. Now white played bishop takes c6. More common here are rook e1 or queen e2. In this delayed exchange line, black accepts double pawns in return for the two bishops. So black captured d takes c6, and now white played rook e1. White also has strong alternatives like d3, knight c3, and the oddly effective queen e1. Now black played knight d7, protecting e5, and then white played d4. E takes d4, queen takes d4, attacking the g7 pawn. Now black castled, and it's also supporting the king is supporting the g7 pawn. Now white played bishop f4, developing knight c5. So after knight c5, now white played queen takes d8, black captured with the bishop. Bishop takes d8. Why? To protect the c7 bishop. Pawn, c7 pawn. Now white played knight c3, and then black played a good move, f5. After e takes f5 and then bishop takes f5, black's pieces gain scope, and after e5, then knight e6, white's activity is reduced. So here white played e5. Instead, Smyslov recommends simplifying bishop g5. Bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, h6, and then b4, knight takes e4, knight g takes e4, and then f takes e4. White knight takes e4, and then bishop f5, reaching an approximately equal position. But after e5, white played e5. Now black played another good move, knight e6. This move blockades the passed pawn. As Nimzovich famously said, the passed pawn is a criminal and must be kept under lock and key. The knight is the ideal blockader here. It prevents enemy pieces from accessing the key entry squares like d4 and g5, creates threats from its post, and remains flexible in its movement. Now, white played bishop to d2, and then black played g5. The pawns advance to drive white's pieces off strong squares and deny them access to new ones. Black's immediate threat is g4 and winning the knight. Knight e2. Clearly this prepares for g4, meeting it with knight f d4 and saving the knight. Black played c5. Black eliminates the escape square and renews the threat. And now white played bishop to c3. This opens d2 as an escape for the knight. And now black played b5. Pawn advances on both wings leave white cramped, with pieces getting in each other's way. Black now threatens b4, followed by bishop d2, and then g4. Once again, the knight is trapped. So here, white played b3. Black played bishop to b7, and then white played knight g3. Black played g4 attacking the knight on f3, knight d2, and now black played bishop e7. Black is now ready to centralize the king and activate the rooks. Now white played knight h5. With no central squares available, the knight looks to f6 as its best active post. Black played king f7, and then white played knight f1. King g6 attacking the f5 knight. The knight is practically forced because knight g3 runs into h5 and h4, pushing it back again. So after king g6, white played knight f6. Rook a d8. The knight looks active, but there's a catch. It has no way back. Now white played rook a d1, rook takes d1, rook takes d1, rook d8, and then rook takes d8, and now black played bishop takes d8. The rook exchange simplifies the position but leaves white with problems. He must stop knight f4, which double attacks the g pawn and threatens to play knight e2 check, winning the bishop. So white played knight e3, supporting g2 but cleverly refuted by f4. A nasty surprise for white, who expected the knight to become active. Now white played knight d1, an ugly retreat, but there is no alternative because after knight e takes g4, black plays h5 and then traps the knight. And after e takes d5, c6 again leaves it surrounded. So after knight d1, now black played bishop takes f6. Smyslov gives up on one of his bishops for a knight to secure a pawn later on. E takes f6, bishop e4, bishop b2, c3 opens for the knight. Now black played b4. Smyslov shuts the door on the knight, and that's not all. After bishop takes c2, the knight is stuck and lost. f3. Black played bishop takes c2, attacking the d1 knight. Knight f2, g takes f3, g takes f3, and now black played bishop f1, bishop b1. Knight e4, bishop takes a2, and knight d2. The b pawn is saved and the bishop is trapped, but the delay lets black grab two pawns. a5. A good move, pawn ready to be returned to free the bishop. King f2. And now knight d4 attacking b3. Bishop takes d4. Now instead of bishop takes d4, if white plays knight e4, then knight takes b3, knight g5 threatens to win by f7. And then knight d4, knight e4 supporting f6. And then black can play knight e6 and it's winning for black. So after bishop takes d4, black captured c takes d4, king e2, king takes f6. At last the pawn is lost. And then king d3, king e5, and then white played king c2. If instead king c4, then a4, king takes b4, bishop takes b3, and wins easily for black. So white played king c2, black played a4. B takes a4, c5, a5, c4, and then a6. And now black played d3, check, and white resigned. Three connected passed pawns are normally unstoppable. Here the ending is forced and brutal. If white continued with king b2, then c3 check, king takes a2, and then c takes d2, a7, d1 promotes to queen, a8 promotes to queen, and now b3 check with the support of the black queen. Now if king a3, then queen a1 check, and it's a skewer. So king b2 and then queen c2 check, king a3, because if king a1 then queen c1 checkmate. So king a3 and then queen a2 check, and black wins the queen by skewer. Now let's look at some key lessons learned from this scheme. Number 1, pawn structure controls the board. Pawn advances can restrict enemy pieces more effectively than direct attacks. Number 2, passed pawns must be blockaded early. Once they advance, they become a long-term strategic threat. Number 3, knights are ideal blockaders. They stop pawn advances, control key squares, and create threats and stay flexible. Number 4, take away escape squares to trap pieces. Limiting mobility is often stronger than attacking directly. Number 5, pawn pressure on both wings causes cramp. Advancing pawns on both sides makes enemy pieces interfere with each other. Number 6, simplification favors better coordination. Exchanges reduced white's counterplay and clarified black's advantages. And last one, number 7, connected passed pawns decide games. When they advance together, the outcome is usually inevitable. Thank you for watching, and I hope this game helped you understand these ideas a little better. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel to show some support. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.